גברת גבריאלה דוד, מר אריאל דוד, פרופסור דינה פריאלניק, סגנית הרקטור, חתני פרס דן דוד לשנת 2015, גבירותיי ורבותיי. לאור העובדה שחתני פרס דן דוד אינם שולטים בשפה העברית, הטקס ינוהל ברובו בשפה האנגלית. Mrs. Gabriela David, Mr. Ariel David, Professor Dina Prialnik, Vice Rector, laureates of the 2015 Dan David Prize, ladies and gentlemen. This ceremony consists of two parts: the awarding of the prizes for the best essays on the theme of Name Your Hero, written by high school students, and the awarding of scholarship for young researchers. Dan's vision of fostering the next generation of leaders was very close to his heart. He took great pleasure in encouraging young doctoral and postdoctoral students to attain great achievements in their respective fields. This concern for the future was extended to the Name Your Hero essay competition inaugurated 12 years ago, to which high school students were invited to participate. Another project aiming to foster and support young researchers is the Mia Fisher Scholarship, established by Dan David to commemorate his late wife, Mia Fisher, who was a very successful businesswoman. This scholarship is awarded annually to a female PhD student at the Leon Recanati Graduate School of Business Administration at the Faculty of Management of Tel Aviv University. I now invite Mrs. Gabriela David to award the Mia Fisher Scholarship and the recipient, Ms. Natalie Sheffer. Natalie? You can open and see the...
Mia Fisher was the wife of Dan, and as you heard now, that's her. That's her. And I met my husband, Dan, only a few months after he lost his wife, Mia. He created this foundation, can I call it foundation? A scholarship after her name for young research women and ladies. And every year I have a great pleasure to honor them and to encourage them to continue in their field and their way. Mia was a very brilliant woman, very clever woman, and I tried to follow her afterwards, not as brilliant and as clever as she was. Yes!
Okay, so hello, my name is Natalie Sheffer. I'm married to Nir and a mother to Hili. I'm excited to be here and express my gratitude to the Mia Fisher Scholarship. I'm a second-year PhD student in the Organizational Behavior Department at the Recanati Graduate School of Management. And I chose to pursue my academic career goals at Tel Aviv University due to the outstanding opportunities that it offers. My research explores the influence of respect in organizations Respect captures the state of being present, affirming others, and communicating and listening in ways that manifest regard and appreciation of the other's worth. We hypothesize that respect will fulfill individuals' needs, which will enhance their motivation to contribute to the organization as a whole. And the Mia Fisher Scholarship shows appreciation to academic achievements, helps students fulfill their needs, and motivates them to advance both their personal and the university research goals. Everyone here has invested in their knowledge and the knowledge of others. The recipients, myself included, have worked hard and invested time into our studies and community involvement activities. The Mia Fisher Scholarship has invested their faith, trust, and resources in the students here, all for the pursuit of knowledge and education. I thank you for the opportunity to grow, not just as a researcher, but as an individual as well. Thank you for investing in my future and for recognizing the potential of Tel Aviv University to support and empower successful scholars.
Thank you very much. No, sit here. It's wonderful. Okay. We will now begin with the Name Your Hero Youth Competition Award Ceremony. I would like to invite Dr. Aviv Segal, Academic Coordinator of the Dov Lautman Unit of Science-Oriented Youth at Tel Aviv University, to join Mrs. David. Oh, what happened? גברת גבריאלה דוד, מר אריאל דוד, גברת שירה שופטי, מנהלת היחידה לנוער שוחר מדע על שם דוב לאוטמן, דוקטור אביב סגל, רכזת אקדמית, תלמידים יקרים, אני מתכבדת לפתוח בזאת את טקס הענקת הפרסים לתלמידים שזכו בתחרות Name Your Hero לשנת 2015. This program is a joint venture of the Dan David Prize, the Dov Lautman Unit for Science-Oriented Youth at Tel Aviv University, and the Ministry of Education of the State of Israel. The students are invited to submit an essay presenting their ideas for candidates, their heroes, for the Dan David Prize. This year, we received about 2,000 essays from students in the 9th to 12th grades. 90 students who presented the most creative and innovative ideas were invited to attend a one-day workshop at the university. A review committee selected 24 prize winners with the most outstanding essays. The ideas conveyed in the winning essays are presented to the Dan David Prize Board members. The winners of the first prize received 10,000 shekels each. The winners of the second prize received 5,000 shekels each. And those of the third prize received 2,500 shekels each. The school that excelled in promoting the competition and encouraging participation is awarded 20,000 shekels. This sum is earmarked for innovative educational programs. I would like to invite Dr. Aviv Segal, coordinator of the Name Your Hero competition, to address the audience.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the Youth Dan David Prize. Today, we are celebrating, among others, with the winners of the Name Your Hero essay competition. Thank you all to the honorable guests who are present here tonight. Professor Dina Prialnik, Vice Rector Tel Aviv University, the 2015 Dan David Prize laureates, Mrs. Gabi David and Mr. Ariel David, members of Tel Aviv University Board of Members, scholarship recipients, as well as principals, teachers, parents, and of course all the high school students of the Dov Lautman Unit for Science-Oriented Youth who are here today to receive a prize for a winning essay. It's an original essay in the Youth Dan David competition, which is called Name Your Hero. Dear guests, every year it is an exciting competition, and every year we are fascinated by the topics and quality of the essays we receive. 12 years ago, we started the Name Your Hero competition as part of the Dan David Prize, and since then, over 10,000 essays were sent with more than 1 million shekels in prizes. Students from all over Israel and from all sectors I don't know, maybe I'm very, very excited today, more than usual. Sorry. So from all over Israel, from all sectors of the Israeli society, take part in this competition. Jews, Arabs, Bedouins, Druze, secular, religious, immigrants, and more. This year we have 24 winning essays, 3 in the first place, 9 winners in the second place, and 12 winners in the third place. The winning students are from Ashdod, Baka el-Garbia, Bet Yitzchak, Haifa, Taibe, Petach Tikva, and Tel Aviv. So you might ask, what do they write about? Who are their heroes? I would like to share with you the subjects of the 2015 winning essays. So I will start with, the first 2 chose literature as their general topic. The first one is Eitan Gronich from Haifa. He wrote about John Tolkien, an English writer and poet who is best known for his classic high fantasy work, The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Inbar Katan from Haifa chose to write about Goodreaders, the world's largest site for readers and book recommendations. And also she mentioned for the prize Otis and Elizabeth Chandler, the CEO and co-founders. Zuriko Chachavili from Ashdod chose to write about his hero, Alexander Bondar, a chess champion and instructor, which is here actually today, and I would like to acknowledge it. Is he here? Can you stand up for a second? Thank you very much for being a role model for our students. Thank you. Okay. Following is Yonatan Kaspari from Tel Aviv, who interestingly chose to write about the Pope Franciscus, the Pope of the Catholic Church, because he focuses on modernizing and fighting for true change in the Catholic world. The next student, Elad Ganot from Haifa, he wrote, or his topic was about history and memory, about the Stumble Stones project, which is led, or one of the major participants is Professor Heinz Lockstedt. And they look for families who lived in Berlin before the war, and they actually embed their names of these people in these stones next to the buildings where they used to live, on the street. The next one is Tomer Almagol from Haifa, who chose as his hero an heroic figure, Miss Bella Foyd, which acted as a human shield for a Palestinian terrorist facing an angry mob. So she really protected him, and it was very heroic. Okay. These 3 students, independently, they're from different places. You can see Guy Markman from Haifa, Noah Cohen from Petach Tikva, Sharon Temis from Ashdod. All chose to write about Grace Murray Hooper, an American computer scientist, one of the first programmers of the Harvard Mark I computer. She's an inventor and first compiler of a computer programming language, which was interesting, 3 of them, so they all 3 will share a prize. The 2, Selina Matusevich from Ashdod and Shaked Yeskin from Petach Tikva, Both chose topics that are related to environment, food waste, and sustainable development. They will also share a prize. Following is Yuval Burst from Haifa, wrote about the Tesla Science Center at Warden Cliff, a non-profit organization established to develop a regional science and technology center at the site of Nikola Tesla's former lab, which was at the same place in New York. The following group actually are students that wrote about social involvement topics. So we have Adar Haddad from Petah Tikva, from Petah Tikva, who wrote about Joshua Wong Chi-Fang, the founder of the Hong Kong student activist group Scholarism. And Shachar Sagi from Bet Yitzchak wrote about Gal Lusky, the founder and CEO of IFA, the Israeli Rescue Association. And Tomer Fuchs from Tel Aviv wrote about Kakenya Nataya. She's a Kenyan educator and a social activist who actually has started or has a center they call Kakenya Center for girls to protect their rights and for educating girls. The following three as well wrote about social issues. Bara Azem from Taipei. She wrote about the Nobel Peace Laureate Tawakkol Karman, a Yemenite journalist and a human rights activist, leader of the group Women Journalists Without Chains. Maya Ron from Tel Aviv. She also wrote about a different Nobel Prize laureate, Kailash Satyarthi, an Indian children's rights advocate and activist against child labor. And Ella Mora Shaked from Herzliya chose Vic Muniz, which is actually, he's a Brazilian artist, but uses all kinds of materials like sugar and garbage, and he's actually well known for doing a project in Brazil where all the kids live there in the dumps. Okay, the last group that I'm going to mention, I think it's the last group, yes, actually were inspired by researchers in science or in other, but from the research that these researchers have been doing. So the first one that I'll mention is Aya Abdelkader from Taipei. And she wrote an interesting paper actually about the Arabic Language Academy in a Supreme Institution for Science and Research of the Arabic Language. Tomer Bin from Haifa wrote about Dr. Keren Banai and her research in auditory cognition. She uses sounds as a useful diagnostic indicator. And Shachar Dubi wrote about Professor Aryeh Dubi and the SPAR project. And he focuses in research in nuclear physics. Yeah. No. I think she at least wrote a very nice essay. So, the last three are Ronit Zissou from Petah Tikva. She wrote about the BioGlow, a biotechnology company that develops the world's first light-producing plants. Liad Lasseres from Haifa wrote about Professor Oded Shoseyov, thinking outside the box, an Israeli professor of biotechnology, engineer, protein, and material at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He as well is here today honoring us with his presence. Professor Shosayev, are you here? Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for inspiring our students. And last but not least is Lama Habayid from Baka El Garabia, who wrote about Abu Abdallah Muhammad ibn Musa Al-Khawarizmi. Okay, how do you pronounce? Kawazmi. Okay, sorry. A Persian scholar in the House of Wisdom who lives in Baghdad. He was the founder of an Arabic numerals and presented the first systematic solution of linear and quadratic equations. So, these are the winning students of this year. Madame Fisher has also mentioned the school that has won this year, and that means that this school has actually encouraged and was involved in the process and sent, or the students that study in this school sent the highest number of essays to the competition, and therefore they will win a prize. The school is Al Salam from Taibe, and they are going to use the prize actually to establish an online learning center for Hebrew as a second language. So they will need equipment and to build this whole center. So we thought it was a very nice cause for the prize. Thank you. Can I do backwards? Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So in conclusion, our students write about social issues and organizations or about individuals that inspire them through scientific research, art, and personal experience. They write about their role models. Through their essays, the students share their hope for a better world, their dreams, and sometimes their difficulties. And that is why it is always interesting to read these essays, and many times it's quite moving. These essays are a true testimony of the depth of these students and for their courage to write about personal and social issues as well as scientific and sometimes controversial issues. These youngsters prove to us they are seeking values, equality, and leadership, and they understand that with effort and hard work one can overcome obstacles. We were moved by all these essays as well as others that did not receive a prize today. To conclude, the Dov Lautman Unit for Science-Oriented Youth is proud to be part of this endeavor and grateful to the late Dan David and his family for the opportunity to be part of the Dan David Prize. We believe that these youngsters add significantly to the spirit of the Dan David Prize, and for them, the participation in this competition is educational and significant. We thank all the participants, their teachers, their role models, and our collaborators. And last but not least, congratulations to all the winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, אביב. כאמור, זכו בתחרות זו 24 חיבורים. מחברי חיבורים אלה ונציג בית הספר יוזמנו אותה לקבל את התעודה ואת הפרס. Gabi, would you like to say a few words?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
This was Dan's favorite ceremony. Dan was the first one to wear one of those T-shirts that you are wearing with Name Your Hero. And he was proud of it because Dan in his spirit was as young as you are. He would have been now very proud of all of you from the different parts of the country, religion, and culture, and he would be very happy about your achievements, and I really bless you. This is Dan over there. Please don't confuse the and continue being curious, interested, and clever.
We are now going to award the prizes. I will call now the winner's name and their schools. הדר חדד, אחד העם פתח תקווה. שר סגי, קריית חינוך בן גוריון, מדרשת רוקין. איתן גרוניך, לאובק חיפה. ואלה הזוכים בפרס הראשון. First prize. גבי עם החולצה. גבי. הכל בסדר. פרס שני, second prize. תומר פוקס, הכפר הירוק רמת השרון. כן. איה עבד אל-קדר, חטיבת הביניים אל-סלאם טייבה. ענבר קטן, לאובק חיפה. יונתן קספרי, הכפר הירוק רמת השרון. גיא מרקמן, לאובק חיפה, ונועה כהן, אחד העם פתח תקווה. ושרון תמיס מקיף זין אשדוד. גיא, נועה ושרון. מפה, או זהו. תעמוד ליד גיא, כן, נכון. It's a joint prize. כן. שקד יסקין, אחד העם פתח תקווה. וסלנה מטוסביץ', מקיף זין אשדוד. כן, ג'וינט פרייז. מאשדוד. פרס שלישי, third prize. תומר בין, לאובק חיפה. שחר דובי, הכפר הירוק רמת השרון. ברא עזם, חטיבת הביניים אל-סלאם טייבה. She is 13 years old. רונית זיסו, אחד העם פתח תקווה. זוריקו צ'צ'שווילי, מקיף זין אשדוד. מאיה אהרון, הכפר הירוק רמת השרון. אלה מורה שקד, הכפר הירוק רמת השרון. רגע. אלה? תומר אלמגור, לאובק חיפה. הנה הוא בא. יובל בורשט, לאובק חיפה. יובל, עוד לא הגיע? אוקיי, אנחנו חיפה, כן. ליעד לצרס, לאובק חיפה. למה חבייב, אל-קסאמי, באקה אל-גרבייה. כנראה, לא יודעת. כנראה, לא יודעת. אלעד גנות, לאובק חיפה. בית הספר הזוכה הוא חטיבת הביניים אל-סלאם טייבה. מנהל בית הספר אברהים עבד אל-קדר יקבל את הפרס. The winning school is Al-Salam Junior High School from Taibe. Principal Ibrahim Abed El-Kadar will accept the award. חטיבת ביניים. זה המנהל. המורה. Hebrew teacher. להזמין אתכם חזרה. תודה רבה. בבקשה, תודה לכם. I would like to invite Sahar Sagi to address the audience on behalf of all the Name Your Hero winners. Sahar?
My name is Sahar, and I would like to tell you a bit about my experience of getting to know my hero. So the first step in the process was finding out who my hero was. I mean, we all have role models, but what distinguishes them from being heroes? I decided to look it up in the dictionary. And as the dictionary says, a hero is a person who is admired especially for having done something difficult or good. Well, that didn't really narrow down my options, so I decided to take this definition to the extreme in order to pick an undoubtable hero by all eyes. That's when I remembered a lecture I saw at the 6th grade by a woman named Galuski. You might have just heard about her because she was chosen to light a torch in the national ceremony of Israel's Independence Day, and that was only a few days after I gave in the essay which I chose her as my hero. But I think Gal not only answers the dictionary definition of a hero, but she also answers the old-fashioned one, the one we all know from movies, a person who saves the world. Now, because this lecture was when I was in 6th grade, which means practically 6 years ago, I didn't remember much of her story. I only remembered how admired I was of her work and how she inspired me. And so I decided to look it up and fill in my holes. Now, for a woman who decides to lay down on a lowrider for her work, which I will soon explain, she has quite a few articles talking all about her. And so I did what I always do when reading is in need. I took a long bath, and during this bath I read all the materials I had gathered about her. And when I finished, my fingers, they lost the youth, but eventually it came back, so luckily for me. Now, I think you're all very excited to know what she's done that makes her so special in my eyes. So it all began in 1982 in the Lebanon War, the first one. Gal's brother was severely injured during this war, during a combat, and Gal decided to negotiate with God. She said that if her brother would recover, she will dedicate her life to helping others from disasters, man-made and natural. Luckily enough, he actually did recover, and less than a year after, she found herself in Rwanda during her first expedition, which she did secretly. For a month and a half, she helped reunite families in Rwanda and Congo, and then she came back to Israel to learn alternative medicine. For a few years, she kept on joining humanitarian groups and working on her own. But in 2005, after leading a self-organized civilian group of people from Israel to help survivors of the tsunami in Japan, she decided the best way to keep on was to build her own humanitarian organization, the Israeli Flying Aid. This organization engraved on its flag to help victims that all help is deprived from. Because as she says, no one asks for permission to kill, we don't ask for permission to help. This saying ultimately means the organization works mostly in countries Israel does not have diplomatic relations with. And it also means it's usually against the regime's will, and that's why she needs to work in secret. Today, after a decade of work, Gal, as head of her organization consisting of 1,200 volunteers, together they helped victims in tens of disaster areas, such as tsunamis in Sri Lanka and Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana, and in Darfur, Sudan, and many more, some which we can't even mention the names. And finally, I finished writing everything, and who cares, it was 6 pages and not 4. Well, actually, it does matter, because when writing, you need to be punctual in order for the reader not to get bored. And rules are rules. So then came the most excruciating and heartbreaking part of the whole process. I had to give people my essay to review it and to help me find which parts were less relevant. This was so heartbreaking, I almost lost my boyfriend during this battle. But eventually I finished the essay, and here I am now. I would like to use this opportunity to thank the Dov Lautman Unit of Science-Oriented Youth and the Dan David Foundation for giving me this experience and then rewarding me for giving it. You have opened my mind, and I think many others here can say the same, so thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much, Sahar. We will open the second part of the ceremony with a medley of songs performed by the Voka Tikva Ensemble, a group of young a cappella singers who help promote talented youth from South Tel Aviv's neighborhoods. Here you are. Wonderful.
מענה. ממעמקים קראתי אלייך בואי אליי. ממעמקים בשובך יחזור שוב האור בעיניי. ממעמקים קראתי אלייך בואי אליי. אלייך בואי בשובך יחזור שוב האור בעיניי. ממעמקים מי זה קורה? מי ישים יד ויבנה את ביתך? בידי עפר. מי ישים רוח רעה יצילך? ממעמקים קראתי אלייך בואי ושובך שוב האור בעיניי. ממעמקים קראתי אלייך בואי ושובך שוב האור בעיניי. כמה את יפה תמיד וכמה את יפה.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm an air balloon that could go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way.
'Cause I'm happy.
You feel like a room without a roof. Alone if you feel like happiness is the truth.
'Cause I'm happy.
Alone if you know what happiness is to do. Clap along if you feel like that's what you ever do. Here come bad news, talking this and that.
Come bad news, talking this and that.
Give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you I'll be just fine.
Give me all you got, me all you got.
No offense to you, don't waste your time.
It's why. 'Cause I'm happy.
Baby, canta junto a mí si el cielo quieres tocar. Aplaude y canta junto a mí y ser feliz es tu verdad. Aplaude y canta junto a mí si sabes lo que es la felicidad. Aplaude y canta junto a mí y sonríe una vez más.
Me down, care nothing. Bring me down, cause my level's too high. Bring me down, bring me down, bring me down.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a room. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. If you feel like that's what you wanna do.
Taifana izachas sine gupa bidun saef. Taifana izachas son barechu el chaya. Taifana izachas shu il chadeila. Taifana izachas son agani. ומסתכלת בטירוף אם אתה יכול לעוף. כנס לקצב ותיקול, לא צריך את זה ללמוד. אז קודם כל אם אתה מרגיש שהעולם פתאום יפה, אז קודם כל אם אתה מרגיש שזה מה שאתה רוצה.
Thank you very much for a wonderful performance. Debora Tikva. I have the pleasure of inviting to the stage the Vice Rector of Tel Aviv University, Professor Dina Prialnik, and the 2015 Dan David Prize laureate, Professor Peter Brown, Professor Alessandra Portelli, Mr. Jimmy Wells, Dr. Cyrus Chotia, Professor David Hausler, and Professor Michael Waterman. Please. First, let me thank the laureates of the 2015 Dan David Prize for joining us in the Scholarship Award ceremony for young researchers. You, the laureates, donate 10% of your prize to support young researchers from all over the world in their doctoral and postdoctoral training. I would like to invite Professor Dina Prialnik to deliver her address.
Distinguished prize laureates, dear friends, colleagues, students, and guests. It is a great pleasure to be here on this occasion of awarding scholarships to young scientists from the Dan David Foundation. And first of all, I wish to thank the laureates for donating 10% of their prize to this purpose. In fact, this was the idea of Mr. Dan David, who is the founder and initiator of this prize. And I remember the days a few years ago when he was present at this ceremony, and it was held in a different place that time. The university is growing. And I remember his enthusiasm and joy and warmth in human relations and curiosity, like a child's curiosity, that inspired the entire ceremony and the prize itself, and also the big ceremony that we had last night for awarding the prizes to the laureates. He's still with us, in fact, in this prize and all of that it symbolizes. Now the prize since then, it's now its 14th anniversary, right? Has become recognized with the big and the most famous prizes in arts and sciences, but is different from them. And it differs in that it is not devoted to one subject, but the subjects change from year to year. There are variations on a theme, and the variations are made with respect to the time dimension, past, present, and future. But also it differs because not only the themes changes, but most of the time it is interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. And in this respect, it is very much in line with Tel Aviv University. For those of you who do not know the university so very well, it is the largest university in the country in terms of number of students and faculty, but more importantly, it is the most diverse one. It has all the fields of research and science and arts, in fact, starting from the Faculty of Arts, it's the only university in the country that has a Faculty of Arts, to the Faculty of Medicine, and from humanities to exact sciences, and from social sciences to engineering, and everything in between. And also, because it is located in one campus, a beautiful campus that I'm sure you have visited and enjoyed, and I recommend to the young students to do so as well. Because we are concentrated in a campus, it is very easy to cross disciplines. In programs of study, we have many, many different combinations of disciplines, which are now the most attractive kind of study for undergraduate students and also for graduates. And we also promote collaboration in research and interdisciplinary research. So the big new subjects in this year, or this past year, is big data, like everywhere else in the world, and this is connected with this year's prizes. So big data and cyber are the most modern subjects of study. And these follow the nanotechnology, for which we are very, very well known in the country. And nanotechnology, and in fact nanoscience, will be the theme of the prize for one of the subjects for the prize for next year. And brain studies, which is we have a new school of brain research, and brain research was the subject of last year's prize. So interdisciplinarity is the name of the game at Tel Aviv University, and the spirit of Dan David and of the prize reigns over Tel Aviv University and its fields of studies. And we have very strange combinations. For example, there are students who study history and physics. Or we have the chairman of the Students' Union who studies biology and political science. I don't know what the connection is, but there may be one. So this year's prize was all about information, gathering it from the past and spreading in the present and using it for the benefit of humankind in future. I can find a very good parallel to what I'm doing. I'm working in astronomy. I'm an astronomer, astrophysicist, in fact. So what we do, we dig very deep into the past to gather information. We assemble very large bodies of data, so we have the problems of big science and spread it all over the world. And we are looking for extraterrestrial life, and we hope that this will benefit humankind in some ways. Now, the subject of information in all its aspects, past, present, and future, has inspired many young scientists in a huge variety of projects that we have examined within the committee that decided on the prize laureates for the scholarships. We had almost 150 projects like this. And it was amazingly interesting to read all of them. Of course, we had a very hard work on the committee. We discovered not only very interesting and very diverse subjects, but also the diversity of the people behind these projects. We didn't meet them, of course, because we didn't meet 150 people, but we somehow made acquaintance with them. And while the projects and the proposals were very diverse, letters of recommendation that accompanied them were very much the same. All of them said how excellent these people are and how promising and what is good achievers they are. So we had a very hard time deciding on the 20 or 21. How many do we have? No, 21 recipients of the prize. 20, okay. So we had a hard time deciding on the 20. And these are a little more excellent, if you can say that, than all the others. And they are here with us, 10 from Tel Aviv University and 10 from everywhere else around the world. And I am very happy to congratulate them, and I wish them good luck and good fortune. And since I'm a physicist, I'll end like all physicists, when they deliver greetings, they all quote Einstein. So I found a very nice quotation from Einstein that I think is appropriate here, and I'll read it for you. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. So I hope you, through your research in future, you will help us making this world more comprehensible than it is today. Good luck, good fortune, and thank you for being here.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Prialnik. Before we invite the scholarship recipients to receive the certificate, let me tell you briefly a little bit more about the selection of procedure. So as you said, the academic committee was headed by you, the Vice Rector, Professor Dina Prialnik, and composed of Professor Isaac Witz, the scientific advisor of the Dan David Prize, and senior faculty members who are expert in the specific fields of the Dan David Prize for the given year. Scholastic excellence, as you said, is always the major criterion for selection. Scholarships are awarded to young researchers from Tel Aviv University and from other universities in Israel and abroad. This year we received around 160 applications, out of which the committee selected the most worthy candidate. And I would like to take this opportunity, of course, to thank you also to their outstanding work. We will now begin with the awarding the scholarships. It has become a tradition that the Dan David Prize laureates award the scholarships in their respective fields. I would like to call upon Professor Brown and Professor Portelli to award the scholarship to the young researcher for the pastime dimension in the field of retrieving the past, historians and their sources. Professor Brown will award the scholarship to Chai Eitan Cohen Yana Rokak. Please. Chai is from the Department of Middle Eastern and African History at Tel Aviv University. It's okay, you can. Okay. Professor Portelli will award the scholarships to Gali Drucker Bar'am from the Goldrich Family Institute for Yiddish Language, Literature and Culture from Tel Aviv University. Thank you, Professor Brown and Professor Portelli. Scholarship in this category have also been awarded to Hassan El-Manawi, Department of Sociology from New York University, Matthew Kunstenbauder from Department of History from Harvard University, Lachlan McKinnon from Department of History from Concordia University, Justin Paragater, Department of Anthropology, from Stony Brook University, and Nomi Yuval Nae from the Cohen Institute for History and Philosophy of the Science and Ideas and the Tzvi Yavetz Graduate School of Historical Studies at Tel Aviv University. She was unable to attend, unfortunately. We now proceed to award the scholarship for the present time dimension of the 2015 Dan David Prize in the field of the information revolution. Mr. Jimmy Wells, please award the scholarship to Yael Amstertamer from Department of Computer Science from Tel Aviv University, Abed El-Kadir Asi, Department of Computer Science, Ben Gurion University of the Negev. Yes, after, no. Yeah. Yakir Reshef, Department of Computer Science, Harvard University. And Lior Zalmanson, Department of Information Systems from Tel Aviv University. Thank you, Mr. Wells. Scholarships in this category have also been awarded to Marco Mondelli from School of Computer Communication Sciences, École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne. And now I am request Dr. Chotia, Professor Hausler, and Professor Waterman to please award a scholarship to the young researchers for the future time dimension in the field of bioinformatics. Dr. Chotia will award a scholarship to Yael Baran, Department of Computer Science at Tel Aviv University. Here she is. Yes, take a picture. And to Eli Levy-Karin, Department of Cell Research and Immunology, Tel Aviv University. Thank you, Dr. Chosia. Oh, something gets lost here. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry, Marco. It's a surprise. So, Marco Mondelli, please come and accept the prize from Mr. J. It is a surprise for us, so you just, please, I don't have your certificate, but it's really a very good surprise. We'll just give you a hand. I'm sorry. And take a good picture. Professor Hausler will award the scholarship to Amir Rubinstein, Department of Computer Science from Tel Aviv University. Here is coming. Zohar Tzafrir, Department of Biomedical Engineering from Tel Aviv University. Here it is. Thank you, Professor Hausler. Professor Waterman will award the scholarship to Ling Yang, Department of Biological Science from University of South California. Thank you very much, Professor Waterman. Scholarship in this category have also been awarded to David Golan from Department of Genetics, Stanford University, and Joshua Payne, Evolutionary Biology and Environmental Studies, University of Zurich. No, this time I'm sure. Well, I wish to kindly request Mr. Yakir Reshef to address the audience on behalf of the scholarship recipients.
Thank you. It is an absolute pleasure and a true privilege to be here. As engineering has streamlined our interface with the physical world, there's a sense in which the last frontier has turned out to be information, as was said last night. Amazon has figured out how to deliver products with astonishingly low latency, but the challenge of helping users find the right product to buy is far from solved. The genomic revolution has enabled biologists to measure an astonishing number of things about cells, mice, humans, and others, but the challenge of piecing together how those measurements are related looms large. And as historians in the future look back on the time we live in, the answer to many questions they might ask surely will lie somewhere in the torrent of data that we are collectively generating each day, but the challenge of using such data to answer those questions will be significant. Solving these problems requires developing a sophisticated understanding of dependence, that is, the way the different variables and data sets can be related to each other. Specifically, it requires us to develop ways of automatically identifying interesting relationships in all kinds of data and ways of exploiting those relationships to better understand our data sets. As an aspiring computer scientist and computational biologist, I'm very drawn to these challenges, and the events of the past 2 days have been an incredible opportunity for me to meet so many fascinating and brilliant people who have made tremendous progress in studying them. The Dan David Prize Scholarship will be invaluable in allowing me and other recipients to convert the energy we've gained from these past few days into successful research. On behalf of all the Dan David Prize Scholarship recipients, I would like to sincerely thank the Dan David Prize laureates, whose generosity in donating scholarships for us young scientists is inspiring and motivating. Research is a risky, uncertain business, as you all know, and sometimes knowing your role model believes in you can make all the difference. I would also like to deeply thank the David family. The exceptional generosity and vision exemplified by Dan David and continued by his foundation shine bright among the most dramatic, bold, and personally touching philanthropic efforts of our time. We're truly grateful for the opportunity we've been granted, and we hope to use it well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yakir. I would like to thank again the 2015 Dan David Prize laureates and wish the scholarship recipients much success in their research endeavors. This concludes this evening's ceremonies. Thank you all, and good evening.